Hi, I'm Dan Avery.
And I'm Hart.
And we've been asked by the Worcester County Council to make an awareness video for world religion.
Firstly, Mark and I went down to Worcester College of Technology, where we spoke to different people from different faiths. The first question we asked the group is, what is their faith and what does it mean to them?
Faith for me is being a Catholic, and being a Catholic is what I base my life on, really. So it's all about the way I treat other people, what I do with my life, my morals. It fulfills a spiritual need in me as well, and I hope it means that I lead a better life than I would if I didn't have a religion and a faith.
I'm Malik Fayaz. I am Muslim. My faith is Islam. And as a Muslim, faith means a lot to me, because every Muslim's life basically revolves around faith. Daily life is governed by faith from the moment we wake up until we go back to sleep. And this is throughout our life. So in this sense, faith is the most important part of a Muslim's life.
I think of faith is a code of conduct, if you like, that people live by. So there are rules, there are expectations, there are beliefs and values that people use and try to follow to have their daily lives. As regards myself, I don't actually have a faith or a religion. I would like to have one. Certainly some of the things I've seen, I really wished that I had a religion to support me, but I find it very difficult to believe that there is somebody outside of us giving us a way of living. So in a way I've created I have my own values from my own experiences in childhood.
The second question we asked is, how do they think their religion is portrayed in the media?
Well, at the moment it's not portrayed terribly well, actually.
I think at the moment Islam is very much in media 24/7, particularly since the tragedy of 9/11.
I think religion is portrayed very unfairly in the media, and I think it's part of the culture of the media of today, in that we only really look at negative aspects.
I think a lot of the negative aspects of the Christian faith tend to be highlighted by the papers, and of course as a Catholic I'm most upset because there are lots of things about child abuse and things like that, and that they seem to sensationalise this, and that's not for me to say that it's not really an important thing, but I think there is a lack of balance, and I think in general for all religions there tends to be now in the papers a lack of balance.
Unfortunately, there are a whole host of reasons as to why this 9/11 tragedy happened and who actually is behind it. But one thing is obviously quite clear, that it is Islam which is being blamed. The allegations are that it is Muslims who are behind it, and Islam is being demonized. But let me make it quite clear that it is difficult for a Muslim these days to live in Britain and come across negative media on a daily basis as far as Muslims are concerned and Islam is concerned. Incidents and tragedies such as 9/11 and 5th of July bombing have nothing whatsoever to do with Islam. Islam means peace. Islam stands for peace. It means harmony, peace, security, and submission to the will of God. And will of God is not harming people. It is harmonizing. It is to do with harmony and unity of people. Therefore, the actual message of Islam is totally different to what is propagated or what comes out from the media. In that sense, I think there is a reason there is a need for media to understand the Islam as a faith itself before actually going out to make the headlines.
We never hear about a person that follows the Muslim faith being kind and caring towards people. All we hear is that all Muslims are terrorists. We never hear about a Catholic person doing kindness, thinking about other people. We just hear about abuse by people in the Catholic Church. And I think it's really, really sad that religion does have a place in our society, but we don't actually hear about positive aspects. All we hear is negative aspects, and people take a lot of notice of what we see in the media. And I think the media can be extremely divisive because people see religion portrayed in a very wrong way, and they actually think that people really are like that, whereas in anything it's a minority.
The media seemed to be drawing more upon the negative aspects rather than the good. The next day we went down to Christopher Whitehead Language College to see what the young students thought.
My name's Debbie then, so I work at Worcester College. My children came here and I'm a governor here, and it's a fantastic school. So what we're trying to do is we're creating a resource for faith awareness, because some people have some very incorrect ideas about faith and religion, don't they? Some people think, oh, it's so boring, it's so irrelevant. We just want to raise a profile about religion and faith and non-belief and have it as a resource for lots of areas to use. Can I ask you, what do you think religion or faith means? What does that word mean to any of you?
Religion almost acts as a guideline, so when times are tough, you have somebody to turn to.
It's like having a personal relationship, like a deity or like the higher power.
I don't follow religion or anything, but in my opinion, religion would just be a strong opinion that sways your decisions like that.
Okay.
It might be something that when people don't understand, they would turn to religion as a kind of explanation for something.
So it's like a guidance for some people.
Yeah.
It can be like a comfort barrier for if they think nothing's after death. Then some religions explain their beliefs in what could happen after death.
Okay, so you're studying religion, aren't you, as part of your education, your curriculum at the school. How do you think religion and faith is portrayed in the media, like in the newspapers, on the television? What's your understanding? What happens there?
It's always, say if something bad happens, they always expand on it and bring up details that aren't always true. So when it comes to bad media, it's always brought up more and highlighted. But when it comes to, it has to be something amazingly spectacular for it to be highlighted if it's good media.
I would say that turning point for that would be the coverage of like 9/11.
Yeah.
It was revolutionary how almost every single bit was covered and broadcasted, and it did not come across well for like Islam at all. But then people aren't educated well enough to kind of see a different side of that. It was just the way it's portrayed.
And do you feel then the portrayal of 9/11 was very much that Muslims are terrorists and no positive sides? Yeah.
There's other programmes that do portray it well, like Songs of Praise. It spreads the word of God in a good light, and using hymns and stuff, which music's quite a big part of our everyday life. So if you can portray it like that, then you've got to get people to follow you, and they understand it more because it's what the people are saying, because they go to different towns and stuff, don't they? So you can see it's across the world that religion is a big part of everybody's life. That's
a really good perspective. That's great. Yeah.
Going back to what someone was said about how it's portrayed negatively, I agree with that. In that I think there's often a common misconception, especially broadcast by news presenters, that religion is largely negative due to the kinds of things like 9/11 and different events that can happen as a result of it. And yet I feel that religion is still a positive communal thing that should create a positive atmosphere as opposed to the negative one that always gets shown.
Can you tell me how you've learned about religion and faith? How do you learn about that through school or through your upbringing? How do you think you've formed your ideas?
As well as learning like what Christians and Islamic people think of like certain topics like abortion and things, I've learnt my own opinions on them.
Oh, excellent.
They've influenced what I think.
Like in our read, you don't necessarily also just learn generally like about Christian beliefs and Islamic beliefs and whatever religion like we're doing at the time. In some things like the medical topic, you kind of have form your own opinion on things like abortion and like test tube babies, and it kind of becomes, it doesn't matter if you're atheist, Christian or Islam, you have a kind of view on whatever you learn.
After speaking to a younger crowd, we decided to go back to Worcester College of Technology and speak to some older students who specialise in health and social care.
So can I start off by asking you, what does religion mean to you? What does the word mean to you? Can anybody give me any ideas?
Believing in a God. Guide to life.
As a guide to life, yeah? And what sort of faith did you learn about at school?
Christianity. Judaism. Islam. Christianity.
Can you think of anything positive that you've seen about religion?
My brother recently decided to turn into a Christian, and before he was kind of going down a dark path, but he's getting over it.
There are a lot of like ex-prisoners or ex-drug offenders that have like reached rock bottom, but then they find some help or guidance through religion, and it can like bring them out the other side and help them follow a different path.
In conclusion, we have learned that there is many different faiths, beliefs and approaches to the meaning of religion. Everyone seems to have their own opinions and understandings of religion, but that does not necessarily mean that they are aware of important cultural and religious issues before they should make their judgments.
Religion is sacred to many people and it should be accepted by all. One person's actions should not be accounted for the whole religion.
It's great to see children in high school still learning about religion and other cultures, as Britain is now a multicultural place to live nowadays. We have learned that religion brings people together and emphasises peace and harmony, but you do not necessarily have to be religious to have these base morals and values. On behalf of Mark and myself, we'd just like to say thank you for watching the video, and we hope your awareness of religion has increased since watching. Thank you.